Most people think a stunning garden takes years of experience, a big budget, or some rare natural gift. But many of the most beautiful summer gardens begin with one smart choice made in May: planting the right perennials. Not annuals that bloom for one season and disappear, not shrubs that need years before they look interesting. Perennials come back year after year. They grow stronger, fuller, and often easier to care for with time. You plant once and the garden keeps paying you back. May is the perfect moment to start. The soil is warming, the season is opening, and roots still have time to settle before summer heat arrives. Plant the right perennials now, and by July, your garden can already feel alive. Next year, it will look fuller. A few years from now, it may look like a garden that took far more money and effort than it really did. Today, we are counting down 20 beautiful perennials to plant in May, starting with the dependable stars and building toward the plants that feel almost magical. Number 1, Black-Eyed Susan or Rudbeckia. If you want a flower that proves toughness can still be beautiful, start here. Black-Eyed Susan has golden yellow petals, dark brown centers, and the cheerful look of a wild summer meadow. You often see it growing where nobody waters, fertilizes, or protects it. That tells you what kind of plant it is. Give Rudbeckia full sun and well-drained soil, and it can bloom for weeks from midsummer into fall. It handles heat, average soil, and dry spells once established, but its value is bigger than color. Bees and butterflies visit the flowers, and if you leave the seed heads standing, birds can feed from them later in the season. Think of Black-Eyed Susan as the backbone of a sunny border, reliable, bright, wildlife-friendly, and almost impossible to overcomplicate. Number 2, Coneflower or Echinacea. Coneflower brings prairie elegance to the garden. Its raised central cone and backward-sweeping petals give it a strong, natural shape. Classic varieties bloom in pink and purple, but modern types also come in white, orange, yellow, and red. Echinacea is one of the best perennials for a garden that feels alive. Pollinators love the flowers, and seed-eating birds, especially goldfinches, often visit the cones if you leave them through winter. Once established, it tolerates heat and drought better than many showier plants. Plant a few cone flowers in May, and over time they can form a beautiful drift. Some may self-seed, some can be divided. Every year, they bring back that wild, generous prairie feeling. Number 3, Shasta Daisy. Some flowers stay popular because they simply work. Shasta Daisy is one of them. White petals, yellow centers, clean shape, strong presence. It has been used in cottage gardens, borders, and cutting gardens for generations because it gives a fresh summer look without drama. Plant it in full sun with decent drainage, and it will form clumps that return year after year. The white blooms are especially useful in design because they calm the garden down. Place them near purple coneflowers, golden rudbeckia, or blue salvia, and every color around them looks clearer. Shasta Daisy is simple, classic, and dependable, and sometimes that is exactly what a garden needs. Number 4, Blanket Flower or Gaillardia. If your garden has a hot, dry corner where other flowers surrender, Gaillardia may be the plant that finally makes that space glow. Blanket Flower is bold. Its blooms come in red, orange, yellow, copper, and sunset combinations that look like little flames above the foliage. But the real gift is not just color, it is endurance. Many perennials bloom beautifully, then fade into the background. Gaillardia keeps going. From early summer into fall, it can produce flower after flower, especially if you remove spent blooms. It is perfect for late summer when many earlier plants have already finished their best show. This plant also thrives where pampered flowers struggle. It wants full sun, well-drained soil, and not too much fertilizer. Rich, wet soil can make it weak and floppy. Leaner conditions often make it stronger. So, if you want heat, movement, and long-lasting color with very little fuss, Blanket Flower is one of the smartest plants to plant in May. Number 5, Lavender. Lavender does more than decorate a garden. It changes the atmosphere. The silver-green foliage, purple flower spikes, and unmistakable fragrance make a sunny border feel calm, warm, and almost Mediterranean. Bees love it. People love it. Even before heavy bloom, the plant brings structure and scent. But lavender has one rule: do not drown it with kindness. Many gardeners lose lavender because they give it rich soil, too much water, or heavy mulch around the crown. Lavender wants sun, sharp drainage, and room to breathe. A raised bed, gravelly edge, slope, or dry sunny path can be perfect. Plant it in May. Let it establish, then avoid constant watering once it is settled. Harvest the flower spikes as they begin to open, tie them in small bundles, and dry them upside down. One plant can give you beauty outdoors and fragrance indoors for months. And before we step into shade, notice the pattern. These plants are not asking you to fight nature. They are asking you to match the plant to the place. Hot, dry soil. Choose Gaillardia. Sunny. Well-drained edge. Choose lavender. The right plant in the right place means less work, not more. Number 6, Hosta. Now let's move into shade. Some gardeners see shade as a problem, but hostas prove it can be an opportunity. Their leaves can be deep green, blue-green, gold, chartreuse, or edged in cream and white. Some are small and tidy. Others grow huge, almost tropical leaves that make a shaded corner feel lush. Plant hostas in May, where they receive morning sun, afternoon shade, or filtered light under trees. Once established, they return every spring and slowly expand into impressive clumps. In summer, many send up lavender or white flowers, but the foliage is the main performance. Hostas are also long-lived. A well-placed clump can stay in the same garden for decades, growing larger with time and giving you divisions to plant elsewhere. Number 7, Bleeding Heart. Bleeding Heart brings spring drama to the shade. Its arching stems carry rows of heart-shaped flowers, usually pink or white, each with a tiny drop below. It looks delicate, romantic, and almost unreal, like something from an old woodland story. It enjoys partial shade, rich soil, and steady moisture, making it a natural partner for hostas. Bleeding Heart blooms early, then may fade back when summer heat arrives. That is not failure. It is its rhythm. Plant it near hostas, ferns, or other shade perennials, and they will fill the space later. Bleeding Heart gives the early magic. Hosta gives the lasting structure. Together, they turn a quiet shaded corner into one of the most memorable parts of the garden. Number 8, Astilbe. If Hosta gives shade a lush foundation, Astilbe gives it color and movement. This perennial is made for the places many gardeners struggle with. Partial shade, steady moisture, and soil that does not dry out too quickly. In those conditions, Astilbe sends up soft, feathery plumes in pink, red, white, lavender, or raspberry above fern-like foliage. The effect is gentle but dramatic. From a distance, the flowers look almost like colored mist floating over the leaves. Plant Astilbe in May, near a shaded path, a pond edge, a downspout, or any cool corner that stays damp. While many sun-loving perennials would fail there, Astilbe turns that difficult spot into a feature. Even after bloom, the dried plumes can stay attractive for weeks, adding texture and movement. Choose early, mid-season, and late varieties, and you can stretch the display from early summer well into August. Number 9, Heuchera, or coral bells. Heuchera proves that a perennial does not need huge flowers to be valuable. With coral bells, the foliage is the show. Modern varieties come in burgundy, caramel, copper, silver, lime green, deep purple, and smoky rose. Some leaves have dark veins. Some have ruffled edges. Some seem to glow when planted in shade. That makes Heuchera one of the best design plants in a perennial border. Flowers come and go, but colorful foliage holds the garden together all season. Use it at the front of a bed, along a path, in containers, or between taller plants that need a low mound of contrast. In summer, it sends up thin stems with tiny bell-shaped flowers, often pink, white, or red. Hummingbirds may visit them, but the leaves remain the main reason to grow it. Think of Heuchera as the punctuation mark of the garden. It breaks up large shapes, highlights nearby blooms, and keeps the planting looking intentional. Number 10, Delphinium. Now we move from quiet foliage to vertical drama. Delphinium is famous for tall flower spikes that can rise several feet above the border. The blooms come in blue, lavender, purple, white, and sometimes pink. But the blue varieties are what make gardeners fall in love. True blue is rare in flowers, and Delphinium gives you that cool sky-colored effect with almost royal intensity. Planted at the back of a bed, it creates height, structure, and a dramatic backdrop for everything in front. Delphiniums are not the easiest plants on this list. They prefer rich soil, steady moisture, and protection from strong wind. Tall varieties usually need staking, especially after rain. But when they bloom, the reward is unforgettable. Cut back the first spent flower spikes, and many varieties may produce a smaller second bloom later in summer. Number 11. Lupine. Lupine brings structure with a wilder spirit. Its upright flower spikes appear in late spring to early summer, often in purple, blue, pink, yellow, white, or two-toned combinations. They are perfect for the gap between spring bulbs and full summer bloom when the garden needs height and color. The leaves are beautiful too, spreading like fingers from a central point and staying attractive after the flowers fade. Lupine also offers a hidden benefit. It belongs to the legume family, so it can support nitrogen-fixing bacteria in its roots. That means it does more than decorate. It can help improve the soil around it over time. Plant lupines in May. While conditions are mild, choose the location carefully because they grow deep taproots and do not like being moved later. Give them sun, decent drainage, and space to settle. Astilbe brings softness. Heucherae brings lasting color. Delphinium brings height. Lupine brings wild architecture. Together, they turn a simple garden bed into layers of texture, movement, and season-long interest. Number 12. Foxglove. Foxglove gives a garden instant drama. Its tall flower spikes can rise 4 to 6 feet high, covered in tubular blooms in cream, pink, purple, lavender, and white. Many flowers are spotted inside, as if someone painted tiny markings to guide bees toward the nectar. Technically, foxglove is often a biennial. It grows leaves in the first year, flowers in the second, then sets seed. But in real gardens, it can behave like a perennial because it self-seeds freely. Plant it once, let it drop seed, and after a few seasons you may have new foxgloves appearing naturally around the bed. That is part of its charm. It makes the garden feel less controlled and more alive. Foxglove is especially valuable for bumblebees, which can reach deep into its tubular flowers. One caution, foxglove is toxic if eaten, so place it carefully if children or pets explore the garden. Number 13. Bellflower or Campanula. Bellflower brings elegance instead of drama. Its cup-shaped or bell-shaped flowers appear in blue, violet, lavender, and white. Some varieties grow tall and airy, others stay compact, making them perfect for edging paths, rock gardens, or the front of a border. Campanula looks delicate, but many types are hardy and dependable. Plant them in May, and they can settle in quickly, often blooming the same season or returning stronger the next year. They are also useful because many tolerate partial shade. That means you can plant them where bright sun begins to fade into dappled light. The blue forms are especially valuable, giving the garden a cool, clear color that feels calm and graceful. If Delphinium is the royal tower of blue, Campanula is the quiet song. Number 14. Salvia. Perennial salvia may be one of the most useful plants in a sunny garden. Its upright spikes of blue, purple, violet, pink, or white flowers bring rhythm to a border. The classic blue-purple varieties combine beautifully with almost everything: yellow yarrow, orange blanket flower, white daisies, pink roses, and silver foliage. Salvia is also loved by bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. Once established, many varieties handle dry spells well, and deer usually avoid them because of their aromatic foliage. Plant salvia in May in full sun and well-drained soil. After the first bloom fades, cut the flower spikes back. That simple step can encourage another flush of flowers, extending the season without replanting. This is the kind of perennial that earns its space every week. Number 15. Catmint or Nepeta. Catmint solves many garden problems quietly. It forms soft mounds of gray-green fragrant foliage, then covers itself in a haze of blue-purple flowers. It spills over paths, softens walls, fills gaps between roses and shrubs, and makes hot-colored flowers look richer by contrast. It is also tough. Catmint handles sun, heat, drought, and deer pressure better than many more delicate-looking plants. Bees love it, butterflies visit it, and if you shear it back after the first major bloom, it often flowers again. Run your fingers through the leaves, and you release a sharp herbal scent. That fragrance is part of the experience, and also one reason deer tend to leave it alone. Number 16. Penstemon or Beard Tongue. Penstemon turns a flower bed into a hummingbird root. Its tubular flowers come in red, pink, purple, lavender, white, and sometimes near blue shades. The shape is perfect for hummingbirds and long-tongued pollinators. which move from bloom to bloom with quick, precise energy. Many penstemon species are native to North America and adapted to tough conditions. They often prefer full sun, lean soil, and excellent drainage. Once established, they can handle dry periods while still producing elegant flower spikes. Plant penstemon in May, then let it settle into a sunny, well-drained spot. Pair it with salvia and catmint, and you create more than a pretty planting. You create a living corridor for bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. Foxglove brings drama. Campanula brings grace. Salvia brings rhythm. Catmint brings softness. Penstemon brings wildlife. Together they make the garden move, hum, and breathe. Number 17. Yarrow. Yarrow is the tough workhorse of the perennial garden. Its fern-like foliage stays low and aromatic, while flat-topped flower clusters rise above it in yellow, white, pink, red, peach, and soft pastel tones. That flat shape contrasts beautifully with daisies, bells, spikes, and rounded flowers. Its greatest strength is survival. Hot sun, poor soil, dry slopes, and neglected corners do not scare it. Give it full sun and drainage, and it can bloom from early summer into fall. Yarrow also supports the garden ecosystem. Its open flower heads attract hoverflies, lacewings, tiny wasps, and other beneficial insects that help keep pests in balance. It is color, structure, and quiet garden defense. Number 18. Peony. Peony is the long game. A healthy peony can bloom in the same place for decades, sometimes for generations. That makes it one of the clearest examples of why perennial gardening rewards patience. The flowers are unforgettable, huge, soft, fragrant blooms in white, cream, pink, coral, red, and blush. Some are simple, others look almost unreal. The bloom season is short, but when a peony opens, it becomes an event. The key is planting depth. Do not bury the crown too deeply. The small reddish eyes should sit only 1 or 2 inches below the soil surface, too deep, and the plant may grow leaves but refuse to flower. Give peonies full sun, rich, well-drained soil, and time. By year 3, 4, or 5, the plant can become a breathtaking anchor in your garden. Number 19. Iris. Iris brings elegance without much fuss. Bearded iris gives you bold flowers with upright petals, falling petals, and that fuzzy beard in the center. The colors can be astonishing: purple, gold, white, bronze, blue, peach, wine, and painted combinations that look almost impossible. Bearded iris wants full sun and excellent drainage. Its rhizomes should not be buried deeply. The tops often need to sit at or just above soil level, where sunlight can warm them. Siberian iris has a softer personality. It forms graceful clumps of narrow foliage and tolerates more moisture and partial shade. Both types multiply over time, and after a few years, you can divide them for free plants. Number 20. Columbine. And finally, Columbine. It looks delicate, but it is tougher than it appears. Its nodding flowers hang from thin stems above lacy blue-green foliage, often with backward-pointing spurs that make each bloom look like a tiny bird or lantern. Columbine blooms in spring, just as bulbs are fading and summer perennials are preparing to take over. It tolerates partial shade, average soil, and a little neglect. Once happy, it self-seeds freely, appearing near paths, stones, shrubs, and quiet corners you never planned. That is its magic. Columbine reminds you that a garden does not need to be controlled every second to be beautiful. 20 perennials, 1 May decision, years of return. Annuals have their place, but perennials build the future. You plant once, tend occasionally, divide when needed, and season after season they return with more roots, flowers, wildlife, and beauty. So, this May, do not only ask what will look good for a few weeks. Ask what will still be growing next year. Ask what could be fuller in 5 years. That is the promise of Perennials, a garden that remembers, a garden that returns. If this helped you see your May garden differently, hit the like button, leave a comment, and tell me which perennial you are planting first. Subscribe to Root Garden Wisdom for simple, smart gardening ideas that help you grow with nature, not against it. See you in the next video.